Off and running, the Eagles not short on making moves. Most notable, they Gardner Johnson and former division rival Saquon Barkley, whose daughter.
When I told her that we're going to be going to Philly, she kind of was just, hopefully we can win some more games.
I mean, she knows ball. Where is the lie?
Okay, Stephen A., tell me this. Do you have more faith in Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts just got Saquon. Jalen Hurts still got A.J. Brown and Devontae Sports. Why on earth would I have an issue with Jalen Hurts having a reason to have more faith in Hurts rather than Dak Prescott? Of course I'm going to pick Jalen Hurts.
Why would you pick Dak Prescott? Because he played significantly better than Jalen. Imagination. Okay. Dak Prescott, second in passer rating. Jalen Hurts, 20th. Dak Prescott. Jalen Hurts struggled greatly against the blitz, which of course kind of proved he can rebound from what we saw last season. I think he is a better quarterback than the one we saw, but really quarterback at such a higher level than Jalen. Yes, the Eagles have a better offensive line. Who is one of the best receivers in the NFL. I think this offense will be fine.
I am, but I'm starting to enjoy you so much more because you're trying to get, because let me tell you something, I noticed how you left out how Jalen Hurts, I mean, things weren't the same. You weren't 100% healthy. You got injured, particularly against the Jets. You left that stuff out. And I'm looking at Dak Prescott. And oh, by the way, Dak Prescott, Mr. McCarthy, that's why you need to get rid of Kellen Moore. The minute Kellen Moore goes out the door, you ran the football every bit as much as he did. Their offensive coordinator in Philadelphia last time I checked. Okay, and I'm thinking about that. It'll be better than last year. I expect Dak Prescott to go this way. I don't expect Jalen Hurts.
Is in a better situation, I might pick Jalen Hurts. Although I am confident somewhere in the first Moore, who's their new offensive coordinator.
You are right.
The question was, who do you have more faith in? Who played significantly better last season.
You know where I'm from, right? Yeah. Connecticut. You know where she went to school, Yale. It's pretty good.
You remember Virginia, BC, your pro days?
Oh, do I? Bruh, let me tell you something. That dude tried to kill me on my pro day. He tried to kill me, man. It was like the one thing that really jumped out, from my pro day, but it was we had
actually mean in football terms,
bro. Like all the pace because certain things. Everyone has different techniques or different things they want to see work out, and he had me doing all these type of crazy drills. And I mean, but he did tell me afterward, part of it, I just wanted to see, your stamina. I wanted to see what your stamina.
Like I was under the hood. They're gonna pop the top and see what's happening with there. See what you. I had some injuries pre-draft. I was recovering from a knee injury. And so I had my pro day in D-line coach for the Giants, Mike Waffle, who I eventually ended up playing for, put me through the pre-draft process seriously in terms of conditioning and getting ready for the NFL because your approach to it.
And 25 of 32 showed up?
Yeah.
Do you remember the 7 that didn't? And does it bother you to this day?
Did you guys both leave your pro days feeling good about your performance and good about your draft?
He's ready to retire. It's like I'm out.
Now, for me, I felt good. Because, see, I worked, that's just icing on the cake for me. So I feel good, regardless at my pro day.
All right, let's get into some of the things around the league. We were talking about Aaron Rodgers today and how not make the team, then he's probably not going to be a starter the next year. We, the three of us, have applied that with all of the stuff he comes with. We don't know if he's going to be a quarterback in the NFL the year after.
It would be hard for me to believe that Aaron Rodgers will fall off a cliff the way that, in that scenario. But things, and you look at all the upgrades that the Jets have made, whether it's the biggest being to me is the offense. Let's see Mike Williams. I heard you guys talking about that. Man, but if Aaron Rodgers, think about this. If Aaron Rodgers, everyone's gone. The coach, the GM, everyone's going to be gone.
The Eagles coaching staff is under scrutiny, with comparisons between Sirianni, Kellen Moore, and Vic Fangio against Sirianni, Stein, and Gannon. While both sets of coaches have head coaching experience, Jonathan Gannon is leading the Arizona Cardinals. The question arises, is the current coaching staff, including Chris, better off with someone who has been fired twice from previous roles? The advantage that Stein and Gannon brought, which Fangio lacks, is yet to be determined. Improvement over last year is acknowledged, although the implementation of Shane Stein's offense and Jonathan Gannon's defense by new coaches is noted. Comparisons between Fangio and Gannon spark debate, especially considering the 70 points conceded by Gannon's defense. Meanwhile, the attention shifts to Ohtani's financial maneuvers, raising questions about his involvement in gambling. The conversation veers to humorous scenarios, but the seriousness of Ohtani's situation is acknowledged. Returning to football, the Eagles' moves are scrutinized, with CBS's top 10 moves not featuring any Eagles acquisitions. This prompts disbelief and a search for alternative rankings, with frustration over the perceived lack of recognition for the Eagles' off-season moves. Ultimately, the discussion highlights discrepancies between personal observations and media assessments, leaving lingering doubts about the Eagles' off-season strategy. The Eagles' coaching staff is under scrutiny, with Sirianni, Kellen Moore, and Vic Fangio facing off against Sirianni, Stein, and Gannon. Both groups of coaches have head coaching experience, with Jonathan Gannon managing the Arizona Cardinals. This raises the question of whether the current coaching staff is better off with someone who was fired twice in his previous terms. The advantage that Stein and Gannon bring has yet to be determined where Fangio is lacking. While it was recognized that there was an improvement over last year, the implementation of new coaches in Shane Stein's attack and Jonathan Gannon's defense was taken into consideration. Comparisons between Fangio and Gannon generated controversy, especially considering the 70 points that Gannon's defense received. Meanwhile, Ohtani's financial maneuvers draw attention and question his role in the betting. The conversation turns to humorous scenarios, but the seriousness of Ohtani's situation is recognized. Back to football, the Eagles' plays are scrutinized, and it's a surprise that CBS top 10 plays don't include any Eagles acquisitions. This, coupled with the apparent lack of recognition for the Eagles' off-season plays, sparks a search for alternative classifications. As a result, the controversy highlights the differences between personal observations and media assessments and raises continued questions about the Eagles' off-season strategy.